Hello students, looking at our prototype nightstand. Working on, let me put this on here. We're working on the Cove routering around the door edge, and eventually it will be put on the face frame as well to add detail to dress up our nightstand a little bit. So that's the project. I've been telling you in class, it's one thing to build a nightstand. It's another thing to have 20 people build a nightstand. So I've been working on a jig that could hold our door so we can hand router that Cove. And this is what I've come up with. Going to use our lockdown clamps here, okay? And I had to raise them a little bit on one side. We've got just enough room for our router bit and router to go around, and then, you know, we'll unlock it, switch it, and do the last side. So that's the plan. So I'm going to go ahead and attach this thing and assemble it for you. So we have it in class. When you guys are ready to use it, it'll be here for you, and will help us get that Cove efficiently routed on our doors. Okay, so here we go. We're gonna put that on there. Going to also brad it in place. I've checked my brads, the length, and they are just a little bit long, so we'll go in at an angle. My 5/8 wouldn't work, wouldn't be long enough. So we put our brads in, make sure they're all the way down at the bottom of our gun and pushed in. We are ready to roll. On our air hose, I'm still waiting on the air hoses at the table, so we're using our compressor here. Pull the collet, and again pull it, push in on our gun, and we're ready to roll. Okay, gonna put this thing in place. Lining it up to the edge. Oops, yeah, it was a little deep. I didn't go at enough angle. Okay. That should do it. And let's get a hammer and bend that over so it doesn't scratch our table, or worse, scratch a project. So here we go. With you guys not being here and out of school for COVID, synchronous learning, I don't quite have my cabinets organized like I would if you were here, and or my tables. That'll work. None of the others came through. There's one that's a little close. The other ones are just fine. Okay, so that the brads will hold it until the glue dries, so we can go ahead and finish this thing. So I think I've got my clamps here adjusted about right. The door will go right there, so I'll want to clamp out as far as I can. I'm leaving room for the router here, so I think I needed like 2 5/8 inches, so that's about where we need them. So I've got my cordless. Let's go ahead and put these on. Open this thing up here, and we'll see if I've got them adjusted right. I like that right there. Some 1-inch Craig screws. Let's put that at about a 7. Don't want to strip them. Pretty fine threads. I'm going to go with a longer bit. So I can get past our clamp. And I'm on drill torque, so I'm gonna take this way down. That ought to be plenty of torque. Yeah. Told you I've been struggling with this GoPro and my bifocals. When I use my bifocals, then you guys don't see what I'm doing, so I'm hoping I've got this thing adjusted. May have stripped that one. Let's take this one down again. More 1-inch Kreg screws. That's about where we want it. Okay. Gonna see if we have this thing just so here shortly. All right, so we got those secured. Let's see if our clamp pressure's, oh yeah, that feels good. Let's make sure we're up tight and clamp it down. That's not going anywhere. So then all we'd have to do is clamp this to the table with quick clamps, right? There's our 2 doors for our nightstand. I've got some quick clamps here. Let's clamp it like so, maybe. I don't want my clamps in the way either. Maybe we do it like that. Another one. So I should be able to router our Cove on 3 sides and then flip it around and do the last side. So I've got my bit here. I've got the depth tested on my scrap piece. We are ready to go. And we want to go counterclockwise because of the rotation, against the rotation, which is clockwise, right? So looks like it's going to work just fine. My clamps aren't holding. Huh. Might need a heavier duty clamp. Those aren't holding too much. Shouldn't need much pressure. I mean, I'm not going to be yanking on the thing. Let's try it. Counterclockwise. You don't have to take it all in one pass. It can be multiple passes. We got to keep our plate flat on the rail and stile. Clean it up. And we'll hold it until the bit stops rotating before we put it on the table, because there'll be other people around the table with you. All right, looks pretty good. Got to keep it moving so we don't burn, right? And I like taking the end grain several times, nice and easy, so we don't have a big tear out. That'll work. We'll flip this around. and get our last edge and the corners cleaned up. And I'll work out a heavier duty clamp maybe too, so we don't have issues with it sliding around on us. Okay, go ahead and run that real quick and we'll have our finished product. Counterclockwise. That should do it. All right, I think I'm happy with that jig. Let's look at it. Looks nice and straight, no tear out, and looks good in comparison with our prototype. All right, so that's what we're doing, people. All right, see you next video.